Hello my dear students, let's start with lesson 3. Here saying question number 1, ask and answer. When tourists visit your village or city, what should they see or do? Use the ideas in the idea map to make suggestions. Okay, here we can say for the tourists, you should go for a walk, you should go shopping, you should go into the country, you should go on a tour, you should go to a concert. And you can use visit here, saying you should visit ancient sites, you should visit a bazaar, you should visit a garden, you should visit historical buildings, you should visit the old town. Okay. Question number 2, listen to Tariq and his father talking to two tourists. Do the tourists want to see or do the same things that you suggested in the exercise 1? Let's start with the reading between Tariq and his father, and a man and a woman, both are tourists. Okay, Tariq saying, look, father, these tourists are lost. Father say, yes, we should help them. Excuse me, do you need any help? The woman say, oh, thank you. We are looking for the tourist information center. Father say, it isn't far from here, but it's closed today. Can we help you? The man say, thank you. It's our first trip to Egypt. You see, there is so much to see and do here. We don't know what to do first. We are interested in all the ancient sites and famous places. Where do you suggest we start? Father say, I suggest that you visit the museum. It's a good place to learn all about the things you will see at the ancient sites. The women say, that's a good idea. We are at an ancient site. Do you recommend a tour with a guide? Father say, yes. Father says, yes, that's a very good idea. The guys can tell you a lot of interesting things about a place. I also recommend you buy a guidebook. You can buy one at the Tourist Information Center tomorrow when it opens. A man says, okay, we also want to go shopping. What's the best place to buy souvenirs? Do you recommend going to the bazaar? Tariq says, yes, you should go to the bazaar in the old part of the city. There are lots of crafts to buy there. The woman says, that sounds good. Oh, one more thing. Is there a good place to eat near the museum? It's nearly lunchtime and we are really hungry. The father says, the best place to try traditional Egyptian food is the cafe opposite the museum. Have a good day. The man says, you too, thank you very much. Okay, we have done with the reading now, and we can say, read it again. Listen to Tariq and his father talking to two tourists. Do the tourists want to see or do the same things that you suggested in exercise 1? I think it's yes. Question number 3. Listen again and answer the question. What does Tariq's father think that the tourists should visit first? I think the answer from the reading is the museum. Question number 2. Why do Tariq and his father recommend a tour with a guide? Because guides can tell you a lot of interesting about places. Question number 3. Where and when can the tourists buy a guide book? I think they can buy it from the Tourist Information Center when it opens tomorrow. What kind of food do Tariq and his father recommend? I think they recommended traditional Egyptian food. Number 4. take turns to be a visitor to your area, ask for and give recommendations. That's so easy. Let's do it, guys, together. Someone ask and the other can answer, and now we have done with but before to finish lesson 3, asking for recommendations and giving recommendations. Asking for recommendations, we use where do you suggest we start. Where do you suggest we start? Do you recommend anything, a tour with a guide or going to a bazaar? And here it is shown. We follow recommend with a noun or verb plus gerund. A noun or verb plus gerund. What is the best place to plus infinitive? What is the best place to plus infinitive? Is there a good place to plus infinitive to? Is there a good place to plus infinitive? Okay. Giving recommendations, I recommend plus noun, I recommend plus noun, or recommend plus object followed by infinitive. Here I recommend a tour with a guide. I recommend you buy a guidebook. Okay. I suggest that followed by object plus an object plus infinitive verb. I suggest that we start with the museum. The best place to try traditional Egyptian food. The best place to should be followed with infinitive verb. The best place to try traditional Egyptian food is, and say the place. Okay. You can should followed can should be followed with the infinitive verb. You can buy a guidebook at the Tourist Information Center. Now we have done with lesson 3. Thank you, everybody.